Video game adaptations seem to be coming thick and fast, and one of the most hotly anticipated ones is the God of War TV show. We now know a good chunk of the cast, but are we happy with it? Let's find out on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yep, I'm back and can't wait to talk about God of War a bit more. And yeah, I can't wait for this TV show to come out at some point. Very excited.
And our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello, really lovely to be back as always. I'm going to try and set a challenge that I have the games completed before the show comes out. So obviously I'm not as sort of hyped only because I haven't played the games yet, but casting seems good. It's going to be good to talk about.
Yeah, you've got a while. They're only announcing the cast now. It's going to be a good while. Maybe
I think I'm in the
late 27, maybe at late earliest. Probably early 28, I'd say.
Yeah, I was thinking 28 in terms of release.
Which sounds so long away, but hopefully it won't be that long.
It's not really. If you think about, we're already in February of 26, so
True.
it will fast approach.
So we're going to go straight into it today. Obviously, God of War TV show is being produced by Amazon, which are making the fantastic TV show Fallout at the moment. So watching that at the moment, which we're going to be reviewing on the movie podcast next week, has given me a lot of confidence with the God of War one. It makes me think at least they care, and they seem to care enough and want it to be a success and have done well. So hopefully they can treat my favorite video game franchise with the love it deserves.
Not only that, they've got Invincible as well, so they're in great hands.
Yes, but in terms of video game,
yeah, no, sure. But in terms of I've seen a lot of great stuff coming from Amazon.
Yeah, the boys.
Generally, their quality is quite high, so I would say it's in pretty safe hands. It's more safer than HBO. Put it that way, I think.
Yes, although the first season of Last of Us was great, so it's
I'm relating it more to
season two.
Yeah.
Although that was probably more of a writing issue than anything.
On that point, actually, I saw something that popped up earlier today. You know, they said that they were going to do potentially 4 seasons of The Last of Us. They are now confirming that season 3 will be the last season that they do.
Ooh, I did not know that.
So yeah, and they've had a lot of problems.
Rehire on one of the characters, haven't they? Manny, I think, was being.
Oh yeah.
Well, both Neil Druckmann has walked away from it, and the other co-writer of Part 2. So it's now just going to be done by Craig Mazin. So there's been a lot of upheaval, and I think that's because of the backlash they got from season 2.
We'll never know the truth, will we? Because Neil Druckmann will say, "Oh, I'm busy with what's it called? What's that game? Intergalactic Heroes of Profit."
Yeah, Intergalactic.
And probably the Last of Us 3 script. So he'll say that, but is it because he hadn't fallen out with Craig Mazin over some of the shit writing? We'll never know.
Anyway, hopefully we'll know one day. But
hopefully God of War doesn't have these issues. So obviously the main character in God of War, Kratos, there was a big reveal the other week, is being played by none other than Thor from God of War Ragnarok, Ryan Hurst. When it was announced, I was like, oh yeah, Obi from Sons of Anarchy, that's great. It didn't even click to me that he's already been in God of War. I forgot that he was obviously Thor in God of War Ragnarok. What a fucking amazing appointment. I mean, other than I never thought it was actually going to pick Christopher Judge. I'd never thought he was really going to be in contention. But it would have been good because obviously he is the voice of Kratos.
Yeah.
But in terms of look and size and acting chops as well, we know that Ryan Hurst can do this. I'm going to be phenomenal.
Very excited by it. Yeah, obviously I love Sons of Anarchy, so as soon as I saw his picture, I didn't know him by name, but as soon as I saw the picture, I was like, oh, that's OP from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
A great TV show, by the way. You guys should watch it if you haven't.
If it anything else outside of that,
Walking Dead.
He probably is.
Oh, okay.
What's the other thing you just said?
Walking Dead.
Well, the TV show.
Yeah. So you know when Alpha
Who's
comes
he playing
into
now?
it?
Yeah.
He's Beta.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you must look well different in that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell it's him. it's
hard
to tell.
It's like isn't Beta really tall in the
he's massive.
Really see his face, he's always off the screen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that was him. But yeah, no, very happy, and the fact he's got the God of War experience by playing 4 as well in the games, I'm happy that they're raising people like that.
Do you know the only other kind of actor that popped up into my head about who potentially could do Kratos? I was thinking of like Cole Urban from Dread. Like, I feel
And the
like
I
he would
don't
boys,
think
suit.
he has the look though.
not the
Whereas I can
look. No,
see,
yeah,
like, I can't see him having the Kratos look. Whereas I can see it with Ryan Hurst having the look.
Sure, yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about actors of like who would suit. Like, obviously, I've not played the game, but I know what Kratos looks like, and I've seen clips of it.
Yeah,
And I was like, because he in Dread, he kind of does something very different. So although he might not look the part, I feel like he could still deliver a strong performance.
I
But what
I
a
think
genius
he
bit of
could
casting.
in
Yeah,
terms of the performance, but in terms of looks, like that is very important casting, especially with Kratos.
sure.
And
yes,
something that's just jumped to my head, Welchy, if Boulder is going to be in the TV show at some point, I think potentially Ragnar from Vikings could be a good shout for that character in terms of like his
yeah,
appearance and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I can't remember what his real name is. I should, but
Yeah, I know who you mean. I love Ragnar from that show. Um, there's obviously people saying like The Rock, as always. Any big muscly man is being
no
cast. It's like,
way.
oh, why not The
Dwayne the
Rock?
Rock Johnson
See,
as Kratos? No
It wouldn't
chance.
work. Jason Momoa was also a shout, which I think is more realistic.
more
Um,
realistic. I just don't think. I,
someone
f-
someone
it's
said Tom Hardy,
yeah,
and he's like 5'6" or whatever he is.
yeah.
No,
He's a good
Although
actor. I love
good
him.
actor,
So
great
he
actor.
could
Yeah,
beef and he could beef himself
to
up for it.
he'd do
be
great
fair,
in terms of that side. It's just more.
it,
It's like picking Tom
he
Cruise, isn't it?
plays he plays Bane in Batman, and in that I think of him as quite big.
True,
He
true,
looks taller
Yeah.
in The Dark Knight Rises as well.
true.
So, and I think even though I know you don't like physically become taller, but I feel like if you really bulk yourself out like he does, naturally you look
And camera
like
effects and
higher.
whatnot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually think Tom Hardy could do a decent job, whether not as Kratos, but in the God of War universe, if he popped up as in some capacity, that's not a bad shout.
So obviously, very happy with Kratos. We do not know Atreus yet, and they're definitely going
Like,
down the Norwegian route because we now know the rest of the characters. So there was always a time where it's like, are they going to do the Greek part of God of War, like start from the very beginning, or they're going to go
yeah,
straight to
yeah.
Norse mythology, which we all love now. Um, and it's very much been confirmed that they are going down the Norse route. So 4 has been cast, but as and I'm going to try and pronounce this guy's name, Olafur
Oh,
Dari Olafsson.
he's in that Apple TV show, isn't he? Severance or whatever. I think it
He's in
was. I
Severance,
saw.
yes.
I haven't seen that yet, but obviously that's highly rated.
Yeah, he's in other stuff which I don't really know any of these things, and I don't think any of us would. Um, so this one is more of a look one because I don't know how good of an actor he is. I'm sure he's great if he's in Severance. In terms of look, have you guys seen what he looks like?
Yeah, he's quite big, isn't he? And
Yeah,
obviously
he's
got a bit of
gonna
a
he's
beard.
gonna be fine as 4.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he'll be fine,
He's gonna
especially
be
like the way 4 is in the games.
yes, yes, yeah. Steve, if you don't know, 4 obviously in Marvel is hench, massive, strong,
yeah.
Chris Hemsworth like a god.
I
4 in the
I
game
did have
is fat.
a moment when you said four. I was like, what? I was about to say, oh, Chris Hemsworth is played, and then I was like, no, you're talking about four from God of War.
So he's
Yeah.
he's fat, which apparently is more like the real mythology, which I don't know how that can be real
Yeah,
mythology, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, good casting in terms of appearance. I'm not personally
yeah.
aware of his acting skills. I'm sure he's great. Jack in the comments will probably actually Jack did write in, so I'll get that up in a minute. I'm trying to get the rest of the cast now. Why can't I get the rest of the cast? What's happened here? Here we go. It's because I clicked on his name and it's fucked everything up. A really interesting one for me is Odin, and that is
that's the guy from Homeland, isn't it?
Homeland. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah, I
Mandy
recognise him straight
Patinkin,
away.
I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
I can
I
see the
thought they
look.
might have chose. I can see the look, but why didn't they just go for the actor that plays him? Like,
Who does play him in the game?
um, I don't know what his real name is, but I've seen him in other stuff as well, and I quite like him as an actor. So I was thinking, like, why didn't they just go for him? Like, unless he's
Busy
got other
or
stuff going on, or yeah,
I'm trying to find who plays him. Why did not make it easy? Voiced
I think
by
the
Richard
only
Schiff. There's no picture. Oh,
the only
he's got the look. That would have been decent.
yeah. It's literally like he's cast off. Like when I saw him, I was like, I recognize you,
Yeah.
and I searched actor, and it literally is him.
Yeah.
I think and I'm playing devil's advocate here in terms of like why maybe they haven't decided to cast loads of people for the game. I know they've obviously got one in there, but they do kind of want to do a TV adaptation of the video game. So if you like cast everyone from the game into the show, I feel like they want to try and get a different perspective from somebody else performing that. Like if you look at like The Last of Us,
Yeah,
for example,
potentially.
they went with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. I know they obviously had,
But
Elliot as
in
the
terms of
mum.
looks,
Yeah,
they're
Troy
Yeah,
doesn't
completely
look like
different.
Joel, does he?
Yeah. Whereas in the game, like Odin, his character
yeah.
is the actor,
Yeah.
so it's easy for him to be in the TV show. Whereas it's like Christopher Judge, he doesn't look like Kratos, so
No.
it's harder for him to be cast as Kratos.
Is it also different because of the fact that it's set in Greek mythology with all these like massive, tall,
Odin's not.
hunky?
Odin's not though.
No,
Odin's
That's
not.
the
he's like
that's the great thing about Odin is
Is
he's not.
is the aesthetic of the game so important to the story, and that's why they're focusing more on that, if that makes sense, like because of the context that they're in. A bit like in Spartacus, they cast lots of obviously men that were able to fight in the
no.
arena.
No, the guy they have hired is
guy,
not a good. He's not an
no,
impressive looking man.
they probably look similar. If you put these two actors
they do
together,
look similar,
like they look very similar. So that they've obviously gone down a different route. Whether they don't want, like you say, Stephen, don't want it to be identical to the game in terms of
Yeah,
who's
that's what
in
I
it.
was thinking. Yeah,
But they have gone down that route for one of the other actors.
Yes,
I'm sure you're about to read out Welchy. So yeah,
this one is the happiest one for me, and of all
yeah.
of them, I actually think it's the most important one to get right.
How are you going to do this though?
It's going to be massive CGI, not CGI, but like he must be like literally dragged along, and he'll have like a green suit on,
Well, like in a green suit, yeah. It'll be funny to see that being filmed.
So, Stephen, I know you're going to play him one day. This isn't a massive spoiler. Mimir is the character we're talking about, and Mimir is essentially a head. He's just a head, and he's attached to Kratos' hip. Like he's just on his hip the whole time. But
yeah, that producing challenges in filming that.
Yes, it's going to be interesting. They're going to see some techniques, but he is so good in the game. Like his voice is iconic. He is so funny. His stories that he tells are amazing. And that to me was always going to be a hard one to get right if you hire someone else to do that role.
Yeah.
So to just say, you know what, no one could do it better than you. You do it. I was like, thank God. That gave me even more trust in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely think it's that important to maybe they do the show in a different way, but it's that important to the game.
Yeah.
That if they're going to try and recreate it, they have to nail it, and it looks like they're going to do it with this. It's perfect. You can't get any better.
Yeah. They've literally chosen the guy that does it in game, so can't really argue against that, can they?
Yeah, how they're going to pull that off is going to be very fascinating to see.
I mean, it'll be similar, not quite the same as the Ghoul and Fallout, but like in the hand in Wednesday.
Oh, the thing.
Yeah.
That's a man walking around like with his with green suit on or whatever.
To be fair, modern technology and CGI actually it won't be too hard for them to pull off.
He'll be wearing a lot of green. He'll be kneeling down a lot. He'll be in a lot of agony by the end of it, I'm sure. It'll be great for our entertainment. So we haven't got Atreus yet. There's a lot of people saying Tom Holland, and I swear to God, if it's Tom Holland, I will not watch this show.
No,
I do not want Tom Holland anywhere near this. Again, I would pick Sunny to be honest.
He's a bit older.
Why would you not pick Tom Holland for Atreus?
He doesn't look. He's not.
It doesn't look like him, and he's too Hollywood. He's too Hollywood for this.
Okay.
It needs to be someone we don't know, or
I think it needs to be a younger actor as well.
Younger as well, yeah. I know Tom looks young, but we don't know Freya yet. Freya's not been cast. Again, another very important one to cast. I'm guessing they're going to do some flashbacks.
I thought they did cast Freya.
No, they cast Sif. If that's who you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
They haven't. Yeah, I'm guessing they're going to do some flashbacks, maybe to the Greek stuff. So maybe there'll be a Zeus. Maybe there'll be his wife. Sure, she's going to have to be picked. Actually, his wife is going to have to be picked. So none of those characters have been picked. We do have two other important characters in Sindri and Brock, or Brock and Sindri. And correct me if I'm wrong, they have picked twins for this, or like siblings at least. I think I was the one who posted it in the chat, wasn't I? So I should know this. So hold on. They have hired. Our Discord has way too many comments in it now. Dwarven brothers. Obviously, in the game, they are they are dwarves, or they're technically giants. I can't remember what they're called.
Or they're not giants, are they?
Well, they are. I think their dwarves are type of giants. I can't remember the fucking rules.
Half giants.
Yeah, but they're dwarves in the game, and they're well, one of them is blue, which would be interesting. Which one of these brothers gets painted blue? But basically, these two brothers have been cast as Brock and Sindri, and they don't look like Brock and Sindri, if you know what I mean. Like they look more like Brock than they do Sindri. Like both of them, obviously they look similar because they're related. But I'm sure they nail it. I'm confident. I don't know if these two actors are good. Did you know them, Andy, Stephen? It's
No,
I don't even know. What are the names?
Danny Woodburn and Jeff Golker.
I don't think I recognise anything. I was going to say I didn't think there's brothers.
Sorry, the way they worded it was wrong.
What was it? Sorry, Jeff.
They
what?
Said brothers have been cast. They meant Brock and Sindri are brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what was the Jeff surname?
Golker. And Danny Woodburn. I'm going to see what they do, if they're in anything that we would know. So Jeff Golker is in the X-Files, Once Upon a Time.
I don't remember seeing him Once Upon a Time. I've seen like a few episodes.
And then Danny Woodburn is in Seinfeld, The Witcher TV show. Billions, Station 19.
It's in Billions?
Yeah. For one episode.
Oh, okay.
But it's an important role to get right. I hope they've done it well. I don't know them personally. Hopefully they've casted them well. I'm sure they have. Yeah. Everything else so far has been good. And then we have Heimdall, who it's interesting they've already casted him. They're obviously very clearly doing Ragnarok here as well. I wonder if it's going to be more 2 or 3 seasons of the 2 games split over 2 or 3 seasons, but we're going to see those characters in the first game. Do you know what I mean? Like we'll see what they're doing in not interacting with Kratos as such, but maybe like interacting with Baldur and stuff. Like we'll see them, the family, like the part of it.
Yeah. Or do they start from the second game? They might not start from the first.
Can't do that. You can't do that. Please don't. I need to see Baldur.
Especially that. I hope the first scene is the same as the game. Like, it's got to be.
Or maybe, Or
could
maybe
they not?
The end of the first episode is a knock. Then it cuts. Then we all know what's
coming.
Or could they not do it in a way where, like, the opening, it kind of gives you the opening sequence of the second game, but then it flashbacks immediately to the very beginning, like leaves you hanging.
They kind of maybe they both technically start with a door knock, really. Like the door knock is so important to both series or both games.
No, I think they might do what you say, Welchy. Have the build up of like the characters in the background with Baldur
like any other show, like
Odin.
And then eventually
I can see them doing that.
Do you know, slightly off it's not really slightly off topic, but you know when you talk about like how to open a scene that is based on like a video game, and that's really important, not just for people that have played the game, watched it, but new people. I still think that like Last of Us 2 Mr. Trick, if they had opened with that shot of Joel, to the people that have not played the game, they'll be like, what the fuck? I still think they missed a trick in doing that, in terms of like a big moment that makes people go, what?
The issue is with that, and I'm going to use The Walking Dead as an example. In season 7, and spoilers for anyone that hasn't seen The Walking Dead, you should have watched it by now.
Yeah,
Glenn gets killed. Glenn gets killed off, and viewership went down loads because a favorite character just got killed. They want people to watch The Last of Us. If it starts with Joel, what happens to Joel in the first scene or whatever, or the end of the first episode, viewership's going to drop like crazy because he's a fan favorite.
True, but my way of how I would have done it. And I know we're talking about God of War, but like the way that I would have done it is that, you know, the bit where like Abby is about to like finish him off, but then cut to black, because we only got it was only one episode. It was end of episode 2 that we got that. So
Yeah.
because it just would have made people go like, "What? Hang on, what's happened?" I just think they missed tricks. So I wonder like if God of War does something, if there's something big that happens that they start and you go, "What the actual fuck is that?"
If they go down the Fallout route, they could do it where different episodes focus on different characters. So like the first episode, like you might get an episode where Kratos isn't even in it, Welchy, where like, for example, Fallout, you might have the goal and Lucy. Next episode is focused around Maximus, and then third episode around someone else. Yeah. They could do it in that format where episode 1 starts with Kratos and Baldur, and then Baldur isn't in it for however long. And then you got a second episode, it's focused on Baldur and Odin, and you're seeing like their stories separately, but eventually coming together.
Yeah.
They could follow the Skins school of rule where every episode focuses on a specific character of the group, but then they all intertwine. That would be that actually be quite a cool way of doing it.
It's got to focus on Kratos and Atreus. The whole point of the games is their relationship. So it's going to have to focus on that. I agree. I think there will be moments where you're looking at the Odin story and Baldur's story, whatever that family for, or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's about Kratos and Atreus. It's like Joel and Ellie. It's the same thing.
No.
It depends how much they want to build up like the main villain in the TV show as well. Like if we're talking about Baldur and Odin, do they give Odin more TV screen time to build up his presence as well, to make you like fear him and hate him and think shit, what's coming?
Twist. And it's like, I can't wait for them to do that. They need to fucking announce who's being cast as Tyr. It's gonna have to be like some 7-foot bloke. He's massive, isn't he?
Yeah. You know who? Might be Alpha from the Bone Temple, but 28 years later.
Oh, you know what? That would be alright.
I think that's the other like major issue that TV adaptation video games have, is that like we sit there more smug knowing what's going to happen. So it does
ruin it.
Are you a little bit, but then it's like the same people that read all of the Game of Thrones books that were like really smug knowing what was going to happen. Sort of, there's no way around that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Heimdall, who is a bit of a dick of a character in the game, has been cast as Max Parker. Who, anyone know him? I don't personally know him.
I didn't recognize him, but I thought he looked like a good casting based on looks.
He's got the look.
Yeah.
And he, looking at his what he's been credited with, he's in one episode of Doctor Who.
Did he?
In 2025. He's in 73 episodes of Emmerdale. Okay, so he's this kind of.
The Emmerdale.
Yeah.
So yeah. Again, I don't know his acting chops, but look-wise, very happy.
It actually, from the cast that you're outlining, is quite nice that they've gone with not the Hollywood route.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes,
unless they are holding that, and like Atreus is going to be a big star.
I think if anyone was going to be, they would do it for Odin or Thor, or I mean, the biggest star here is Ryan Hurst, which is Kratos, which makes sense. Or Mandy Patinkin actually for Odin, you could argue is pretty big as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. And Freya is important. I don't know who they're going to pick for Freya. Again, I would just pick the voice actor because she was phenomenal.
A question that I'm pondering. Do you think the actors that sign up, take away the ones that have actually been in God of War, do you think these are people that have played the game, or they will play it to get into...
Different actors do different acts, don't they?
Yeah.
Some actors say they'd rather not. Isn't Walton Goggins?
It's like Fallout.
Didn't
he said he doesn't want to play the game because he wants to put his own spin on that character and the world. So he feels like if he plays the game, it'll ruin it because he'll be trying to act a certain way.
Because it's you make your own, different. If you make your own RPG, isn't it? It's like different.
And actually, Pedro Pascal, when he took the role of Joel, he had no actually idea. Like he said to his cousins who were like 13, 14, I'm going to be playing in the, and he didn't even get the last out because they were like, The Last of Us. He was like, oh man, this is a big deal. So I feel like though you would do, if I was an actor, I'd like to do a little bit of homework. Maybe not all of it, but just to kind of get a vibe. Like even if you play like an hour of, I don't know, God of War or Last of Us or Fallout.
But it's the director's job to do that, isn't it? The director comes in and says,
as well.
You're gonna like to Heimdall. You need to be a bit of a dick. You need to be doing this. Like you don't need to play the game. Actors should be able to take direction from their director. So
I would be really
as long as the director and Oh, David Jaffe's one of the writers? Or is that because he's only been credited? Because David Jaffe wrote one of the original God of Wars, not these God of Wars though. I don't know. Corey Barlog's
Okay.
involved, and he's like the Neil Druckmann of Sony Santa Monica, so it should be okay.
Is he showrunner?
It just says
Is he
executive producer.
Oh, okay. I mean, I would, if I was an actor, I'd use that as a really like sad way of just being able to play video games, and then like someone would be like, "Why are you playing video games? It's homework.
It's work,
It's
yeah.
for my job." Yeah.
So the only other one is Sif, who I wouldn't say is a major character personally.
Not in the games, I don't think she is,
No,
but maybe
they
more in
could
the
obviously
TV
make
show
it
she
more
will be.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's in Warm Bodies.
Oh yeah.
I think that's meant to be good. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
But...
I've seen Warm Bodies.
The Fall Guy that came out 2 years ago with
the
Gosling.
Yeah, the stunt film. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a
Yeah,
lot here.
that's
Hacksaw Ridge.
That's a
Pretty
good film.
good list here, yeah.
I don't remember her in any of those films.
Does it say
how big of a role she played?
who she played in The Fall Guy? Just out of curiosity, does it give a name?
Iggy Star.
Oh yeah. I remember Iggy.
Again, the look is fine. So
yeah, I saw the look.
So far,
yeah, fine.
I'm happy. I'm not going to say like I'm ecstatic because a lot of them I don't know how they act and how they're going to be characters.
Yeah.
But for example, The Last of Us, Ellie doesn't look like Ellie in the TV show. And it's not the end of the world because season 1 was great. I was fine with it at that point. It's more the writing that fucked up season 2.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you have a character that you know and love from something, and then they change it completely in another format, you're like, okay, I know it's up to you how you want to portray this character, but it's got to land because I love this way. You know what I mean? I love how they look and act in this way.
Just stick to the source material when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And in Last of Us, what makes it worse is that you've got a perfect person in Pedro Pascal as Joel, because that absolutely is the look and the style.
Yes, I think it's good. Yeah.
I took exception to Bella, as you said, not in season 1 but in season 2. Because I'm watching actually the actress who played Abby going, you would be better suited to Ellie.
Exactly, 1,000,000%.
And that's
when it's worse, when they hhire someone else who should be Ellie as someone else who shouldn't be Abby.
Didn't they say she was too old though? Yeah.
She doesn't look old though, does she? I guess her
no,
age.
she doesn't.
They could have like put. I know they use makeup to make you older, but they also can use effects to make you look younger.
Do it in the Fallout series, so
exactly. So they could have easily done that. Thing is, though, this is particularly for both of you who love it so much. There is probably still that little feeling of just if this goes wrong, it's like that risk.
Always.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's in good hands.
It does.
Yeah, Sony won't want it to go wrong because God of War is so important to them.
Yeah.
Amazon won't want it to go wrong. No one wants it to go wrong. Obviously, no one ever does.
No.
But it's an important franchise, and so is The Last of Us. And I think they're probably upset with what happened in The Last of Us Part 2. So that hopefully spurs them on even more to make sure they nail this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think, like, how much we enjoy Fallout, I think the only difference between Fallout and God of War is obviously Fallout is based on the game, but not a direct
story,
like carbon copy of something. So that's what makes it safer to do that.
Copy in a story.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like it'll be good if we see more TV shows from games that take the same universe and make their own story with it. I want to see more stuff like that.
Agreed, but I don't think you could do that with God of War, personally. God of War is about Kratos and Atreus and whatever, yeah.
But also, you've got to be so careful with that because I agree that I'd like to see that, but not to the point where it starts to take liberties. It still needs to stick to the source material, but
in terms of the world, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for a perfect example, Frank in Last of Us Season 1, perfect, absolutely perfect example of taking a notion of something that you see on a piece of paper.
What did you say?
And then just not
Bill, you mean?
The Bill.
Yeah,
Bill.
okay.
Sorry.
I was gonna say,
when you said the reaction, you're like, who you talking about? Yeah, sorry. Bill's sequence, which is just a piece of paper in the house when you're exploring his Joel, that goes in a completely different direction. I was like, wow. So I like more stuff like that, but I think just get the balance. Don't stem too far away from the story that you're trying to tell.
I disagree. Last of Us, I would take a whole different story in that world because the world is the important thing of The Last of Us for me.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell. I know we've done zombie stories forever, like The Walking Dead and stuff, but the Billstown thing showed that they could do it. They could have made that thing a whole series, like they really wanted to. I just think you can take worlds. This is different.
Yeah.
This is Norse mythology, which you can do anything with Norse mythology. But if you call it God of War, it's about the God of War.
I think no, I would happily take that, but more maybe as like a separate spin-off series. If you're doing like the main line story, I like when it adapts from a video game. It can take a few creative directions, but I like seeing that story play out in a different medium.
do too, but when they fuck it up like they did in Last of Us, it pisses me off. So they gotta be careful.
I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's one of those. It's a really impossible. And if they nail it, it will go down so successfully. But I don't envy anyone making it because it's fucking hard work. Because there's so many things that you can fuck up, and not everyone's going to be happy. So many people will pick holes in stuff. Sometimes justified, and sometimes you're like, get a grip. Like seriously, get a grip of what you're saying. So but it's probably one of the most challenging things to adapt a video game into a successful TV show.
Just ask the people that made Silent Hill.
Let's not start on that again.
Any final comments before we take a break?
No, just very happy and just want to get a release date now for it. And obviously some more castings to see who the other characters are.
We had a listener comment, didn't we, Welchy?
Sorry, yes. Well done. Thank you. Saved by the bell. Jack wrote in regarding the cast, saying, God of War casting so far, I'm extremely happy, as long as they animate Scratch in for Ratataska. So Ratataska is the squirrel, Andy, voiced by Troy, or one of them's voiced by Troy, whatever it was. So we were saying in Discord that we want it to be the Scratch squirrel from Ice Age. Just animate him in, just put him in.
That's fair enough.
He said, with how good the Fallout series has been, I'm sure Amazon, Sony, and everyone involved will be doing their best for it to not to be a disservice to fans and follow the regular route of game adaptations. Extremely high hopes for it and can't wait for release. Which I can echo that.
Based on what Jack said, I can actually see them leaving out the squirrels completely because they don't really add enough to the story. Like it's more of a game thing. I completely avoided them pretty much the entire game. But if they do,
the tree, it's involved like it's how they traveled and stuff. I can't remember. I have to go back and
play. But like once you have that intro with them and the door gets fixed or whatever, they like you can just ignore them. They like you hear them chatting as you're walking to and from your house, whatever. But if they do cast them in, then it'd be cool if Troy Baker is actually the bit of squirrel again.
I mean, they might as well. Even if it's just like a 1 episode cameo.
It'd
be worth doing. I mean, Troy Baker was the one of the brothers in the first game as well.
Yeah.
I think out of all these two things, one, I need to play. Well, I will have both God of War games completed before this TV show comes out for sure. But also, I've got to get onto the Fallout train. I keep hearing too many people. I've got season 1 to watch as well. So need to expedite watching that.
Well, it's technically now Tuesday. We're recording this. It ends tomorrow.
Oh man,
we're going to take a quick break and then come back and quickly talk about what we've been playing. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. We've just been talking about the God of War cast and how excited we are for that TV show to come. Even though this is a gaming podcast, obviously it's gaming related, so that's fine. For now, let's talk about what we've been playing. Andy. We had the privilege, and Stephen, I'll explain to you why you haven't had the privilege. You'll understand why. Basically, I got an email the other day saying, you have a code for a free game. So I've been trying to get some codes for games for a while. Obviously, I was on the podcast for some content. And I got one. I got one for a game called the Exit Project Backrooms. And because...
Backrooms or Backstreets?
Backstreets. And because Andy, and I didn't realize this at the time, because me and Andy now game share, any code I get from the developers, Andy will get access to. So we get one code for the price of 2 codes for the price of 1. Essentially, we only get 1 code.
Right.
So I was going to play it, and then I said, "Oh, Andy, actually, if you want, you could probably play it because I've got it now. If you can, I didn't know if it would work, or it did work. So we've got a code, so thank you to Keymailer and Nostra Games for the code. I really appreciate it. This is a game which, as far as I can tell, came out a couple of years ago on some systems. Even PS4, it might have come out a couple of years ago. I think the PS5 version is new, like very new. It came out on Switch last year. It came out on PC. Maybe Steam was very new as well, actually, which is a weird way to do it. But essentially, what it is a time loop game. I think they call it a horror. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andy.
It probably is. I can see it being.
Is it like
horror.
like a death loop when you say?
Oh, nothing
that
like Deathloop in terms of a mechanic. So it's called The Exit
Okay.
Project Backstreets, and the blurb is an atmospheric horror game rooted in psychological horror. You and your community can explore. Oh, sorry, they're talking about me, like when I'm streaming it and stuff. Explore a seemingly normal environment, revealing small inconsistencies that hint at a disturbing reality. Your goal: uncover these clues and escape an endless loop. So basically, what the game is you play as this man, and you just see a street. There's a door behind you. There's a door in front of you, and that door is supposedly your apartment door. You go through the door, and you open up, and you're back into the same street. So it's a time loop in terms of like every time you go through the door, you're just back in the same street. It's a very similar concept to PT, the horror game, which is phenomenal, but you can't play anymore, unfortunately. So that is the game. That is the game. Is you go through the street, go through the door, and you do it over and over again. So you have to work out.
Is it a long game then?
No.
If I told you how to beat this game, you would beat it in 5 minutes, if not less. If I told you exactly what to do, you'd beat it in 5 minutes. The difficulty, Andy, don't laugh at me. Basically, you just got to figure out how to get through this time loop, how to solve the time loop. And I'm not going to say it because once I say how you solve the time loop, the game is a 5-minute game. So basically, it's figuring it out. It took me 18 minutes, as Andy nicely pointed out on my YouTube video, which actually there's a 2-minute intro. So I reckon it took me about 15 minutes to work out this puzzle. And once I worked it out, I then went on and beat the game in a couple of minutes. It's that kind of game, and for good and bad reasons. I'll go into my full review in a second. But
question, because it popped up that like Andy had got a platinum on the home screen. It like tells you what your friend has done this week. So is it one of those games where like by just completing it you get the platinum trophy, or is that
not necessary?
Almost.
Basically, it almost is.
Yeah. Like if you
don't mess up and you manage to complete it first run,
yes,
you can complete the game without getting the platinum. You basically have to mess up.
Yeah. There's a trophy for going through the wrong door. So if I told you how to play this game and you just did it the right way, you would miss one trophy.
Right. Okay.
So if you go into it not knowing, you will get the platinum by beating this game. I got the platinum
That's the most bizarre way of getting a platinum that I've ever heard. By fucking up, you get the platinum. By doing it perfectly, you miss one trophy.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
You will fuck up like
naturally.
Like when you play this game to figure out what you have to do to go through the right door.
You have to fuck up.
You naturally will fuck up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, unless you just get pure luck. And at one point, I thought when I was watching Welchy's playthrough on YouTube, I literally thought at some point you was going to cheese it, Welchy, because you're coming up with these like different ideas on what you thought was happening. And I was like, when are you going to clock what's actually happening? Because it's like, you know, where it shows you what street you're on. It says like 1, it says 0, 1, 2. It got to like, it said 2 or something. You went, oh, that now says 2. And I was like, well, gee, that's just the level you're on. And it was like watching you trying to like figure out. And that's why I like checked what time it was, at which point you figured out what the thing was. So I was like, I was watching it, thinking, is he going to, like, he's getting close to the end now and he still hasn't figured it out. Is he just going to cheese his way through here? He's like, oh, is this a pattern? Is that a pattern? Like, well, actually, please, no. And I'm like I'm spotting things. I'm like, how have you not noticed what the thing is yet that you need to do? But yeah, it was quite funny watching it.
This obviously wasn't a time loop game, but when you were talking about the mechanics of it, it kind of gave me similar vibes to when I played a Menti on PC back in November.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a time loop game, but essentially all it is trying to get out of the Egyptian pyramids, and you're not really told anything more. You just, as you learn, as you go along, you're like, oh, something pops up, or it will give you things that weren't there first time when you take pictures on your camera. I don't know if that would quantify as an endless loop
That's more of
game.
an escape
No.
room or something, isn't it? It's more like you're
Yeah,
escaping somewhere. This is
yeah.
literally a loop, and once you solve it, that is it. I I actually liked it, what I played, and I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10, which sounds bad, but my only reasons for giving it that low of a score, so 5 being okay, 6 being decent, I really wanted it to give it a decent score, as in 6. But it is genuinely a 5-minute game if you know what you're doing, and
Yeah.
I don't know how much this game costs. Obviously, we got a free code. Again, thank you to Keymailer and Nostra Games, but I can't go out there and say definitely go and buy this game because you're basically buying it either for the platinum, which if you're a platinum hunter who likes getting these quick platinums, then great. It's
I might be getting
perfect.
it now just for the sake.
It is perfect
Getting my
for that.
plan ticked off the list.
If you like puzzle games, it is a easy puzzle. I know I was a bit slow to get it, but it is an easy puzzle. And
Yeah.
once you've done it, that's the biggest
The,
issue for me is I liked solving it and I liked what they had in there. I like the
yeah.
concept. I think it'd be good if you woke up the next like you basically at the end you get to your apartment finally and you go to bed. If you woke up and then there was like another you was like got back out the street and it was like another street, but this
Yeah.
time you had to figure out a different way of getting out of the loop, I'd been like, okay, I like this concept, and I'd been well in for that.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be a bit longer.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say to you, Welchy, is when your trophies popped up, because I know it doesn't always show like when you're streaming and recording and stuff. Did you check to see what you got the trophy for? Like your very first one or second one?
My first or second one.
Like, yeah, did you check like the description or did you just because on the video it doesn't look like you click into them,
Oh, I don't click into
so
it.
you just did. Yeah. So for me, obviously, when I got my first trophy or second trophy, I always read to see what I got the trophy for.
Oh, I
And
never
based on the
do.
description of that, I was like, oh, okay, I know what I have to do now, based on what it tells you.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was
Um,
like curious to whether you read it or not.
Okay,
Because
yeah,
if you
I've just
didn't, it
read
makes
it.
more sense. Why? Yeah.
Okay.
So that like gave it away to me, like what I knew. I knew like pretty much straight away what I had to do. I just struggled more in because there was things when I was watching your playthrough that didn't happen in yours that happened in mine, or at least I didn't
I was
notice
going to
them.
ask you that. So it's
And there's
randomly generated then?
yeah. So every time you go through a new street, obviously it changes, and obviously you learn very quickly. Like you thought you figured out a pattern, and then all of a sudden you
I
went through
didn't.
the door and you're like, "Well, I'm back at zero again. Like, what the fuck's going on?" So obviously there's no patterns to it. You can't cheese your way through it. You have to look.
You have to figure it out, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, you have to figure out
I
puzzle.
I felt really sort of like sad that I had missed out on this code. Right, I've just gone onto the store, and I'm going to get this game now because on the store they're doing a sale. I can pick up for £1.15,
Oh, okay,
Oh, really?
that's
down from £5.70. Offer ends on the 4th of February. So I will buy it and I will download it.
£5.70
Just
is not bad. Like
not
yeah,
if you want a
that's
quick out, like I mean, it took me 22 minutes, even without knowing the puzzle at the beginning. So it can be done
yeah
easily in half an hour, going in blind. If you're willing to spend £5 for a quick puzzle, then fine. But I personally wouldn't pay that for a puzzle. I just wouldn't.
for £1.15 though.
£1,
I'm
yeah,
happy
why
to.
not? Why not? It's a
Yeah,
quick platinum.
yeah,
But there's, as I say, there's a genuine good idea here and a good concept. It just needs to be
yeah.
more of it. Or I actually, and you probably saw this, Andy, I actually jumped a few times.
oh, I did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's certain parts where like you spot things which stood further back, and I was like, "Oh, please go forward," because I know like it's going to jump out and stuff.
Yeah.
And you did it on those bits, but then there were other bits where it did. And then, oh, the other thing I wanted to know as well, like, because when I was playing it, I had the same thing as you, where I thought I was accidentally pressing buttons in. And I'm not going to say it exactly,
Yeah.
but I thought I was accidentally pressing buttons, and I was like, I'm not touching the buttons in.
Oh man, that
But
freaked me
after
the
watching
fuck
your
out.
playthrough, I now realise that's part of the game,
Yeah.
and maybe that was one of the things that
Yes.
was part of the puzzle.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a bit where you're like really small as well. I was like, oh, that's so funny
Oh
because I
yeah.
said I'd done the exact same
It's
thing.
genuinely
And like,
good moments. They had good ideas there.
yeah,
So that literally,
yeah.
Stephen, you should do what I should say to the podcast. There's a whole let's play of my full let's play of the game on YouTube right now. There was a moment where the controller just moved on its own. I was like, I did not press that button. Like, I know I didn't press that. Then I kind of like walked again and did it again. I was like, oh, okay, what the fuck? I was like, maybe I'm like lightly touching it. And it's just very sensitive. So I held the controller very differently to make sure it wasn't. That freaked me out a bit. I can't lie.
Yeah, but yeah, it obviously does that.
Like a ghost was haunting your controller or something.
I didn't know. I like that kind of shit though when it like it takes
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't like it.
I didn't even know there was a zoom button either because you started zooming in with things like I didn't even zoom in once. And I was like, fuck it out. And then like halfway through the game, you're like, oh, you can't even sprint on this, and you're like, oh, actually you can. It's just me being an idiot.
Yeah,
I was like,
stupid.
yeah, it is. It's funny. I think like it's one of those games that's actually like quite fun to talk about, and like when you've had multiple people play it, and especially watching your playthrough and how differently you done it, I struggled more in sort of figuring out the puzzle more towards the end because there are like sneaky bits in there that it's difficult to solve. Whereas you struggled more figuring out what the actual puzzle was first.
Yeah.
And then obviously once you knew it, you like breathed through that bit. But yeah, it's
I just had a great idea.
Different scenarios. Yeah.
I'm gonna download it and then we'll play it on Saturday and you can see how I get on with it.
Yeah. I want to see. I will time Stephen.
Oh, I'm already throwing it out here.
Yeah, I'm going to be the Stephen longest. Could go and watch my Let's Play beforehand.
No, I won't. I'm not going to do that. No, I will watch it after. I guarantee I will take the longest because I'll be like, puzzled.
I'm not going to record you in time of like completing the game, but I'll record you to see how long it'll take you to figure out the puzzle.
Oh, I imagine it will take a fair bit, but yeah, that'll be fun. I'll make sure it's downloaded.
Andy, would you give it a score?
Yeah, I'd probably give it around 6 out of 10 because like when I was playing it, I didn't have any issues with it.
No.
It was quite a fun game to play and complete. And obviously with me at the moment, the way that I've been feeling about games, not knowing what to play and stuff, it was like easy to download, jump on it and get through it sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we already said, could be a bit longer, maybe some different puzzles in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do like you go into the apartment and then it tells you to go through a door and then you're in the apartment again, and then all of a sudden you're like trying to figure out what the puzzle is.
Yeah, exactly that kind of stuff. Exactly that.
So yeah, they could add more to it, but if it's on sale for £1, like you can't really complain too much about that, can you?
Especially because it's an easy platinum. If it was one of those games where you beat it in 5 minutes and you still haven't got much for it, it's like I know some people don't care for trophies, but at least you're also getting something for it.
Yeah, you're getting rewarded for playing it, basically.
So I think I've already had 2 platinums already this year alone. Like, 3 platinums, let's go, baby.
It's one of those platinums where like 75% of players have got it. Like if you play it, you basically gonna get it.
It's like one of those like bake your cake simulator 5 where you've just got to basically bake a cake and you get a platinum. I don't really want to do it because I like to kind of work a bit harder for it, but it's horror, psychological horror, so that might be fun like to do.
And I will say I genuinely had no idea this was an easy platinum. I just asked for a code and got one. I unexpectedly got one. So that was a nice surprise. One other small complaint is the voice acting, because I think it's just them typing into an Excel spreadsheet and getting it to talk back to you. It sounded like a robot voice. It wasn't an actual actor, which fine, I guess but if someone's making this game, could they not have just voice acted it?
That's my cheap thing. Budget. Just someone cheap budget, in the company. Yeah,
maybe they didn't have the money to do it.
I'm not expecting Troy Baker to turn up.
Like, I don't know what country this game was set in, but I got the vibe that the person speaking wasn't from the country that it was based in, basically.
I think it was very much robotic, like some sort of system that did it. Because the radio noises sounded Spanish.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, so the whole scenery doesn't match. Like, the voice is obviously robotic, so obviously it's not going to match either way. But if they're going to have a certain scene, and especially like you said, the people speaking on the radio were speaking a different language as well. Yeah, you have someone potentially from that country doing the voice acting on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if Nostra Games have if this is where they're from. About. Oh, that didn't help.
But maybe that's something they'll learn from if they do another one.
Oh, they're from Cyprus.
Maybe they will. Oh, okay.
Oh, fair enough.
But mate, yeah, if they do another game, because when I typed it in, I did see a couple of different things.
They got quite a few games.
So I don't know if that
and I think I could probably request
more
those, to be
similar.
honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
It'd be
loads of
cool to
different
see what they
ones,
do.
but cool. Well, that's our very quick review of the Exit Project's Backstreets. Stephen, you want to quickly review Life is Strange Before Colors?
Before the Storm.
Before the Storm.
That was good.
There is True Colors, yeah. There's so many. Yeah. So yeah, the second out of 5 Life is Strange games have been completed. This one obviously is a bit more of a shorter game. I think I clocked it in at around the 12-hour mark, so basically half the length of the first Life is Strange. And again, no surprises here. Absolutely loved it. Like, it's just I am in love with like the Life is Strange world. Obviously this centers on Chloe before Life is Strange 1's events take place. And like when I said about the Life is Strange 1 I found quite harrowing at times, this actually sort of hit me even harder. Only because it centers on Chloe, who has lost her father, but it goes into more detail because obviously it takes place, like, I think it's 2 years after he had passed, but she has like dream sequences which recount moments, and those bits were like, the first moment of when something happens, which I won't give away, I literally jumped out of my skin, because I just didn't expect it. I kind of had this dread feeling in my stomach. I was like, oh no, I feel like you're showing me something that I don't really want to see. And that was really harrowing. Again, it's got the diary, and to get the platinum, which I've got the platinum for this as well, rather than photos, there are optional bits of graffiti. So all throughout the 3 episodes, there will be bits where Chloe can essentially draw on something, or put graffiti on a school window and other stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. She also has this sort of mechanic where you can basically have like a challenge. So if you want to get your own way, you have certain dialogue that you have to listen out to a key word and you press it. So like there's a bit where she wants to try and get into this over 18 club. There's a band that are playing in it, and you basically use this feature to convince the bouncer to let you in. So it was quite cool to see new stuff that they introduced into Before the Storm. There's also, so basically in the story, you're with Rachel, who's in Life is Strange 1. It's amazing when you know where the story is going for both these characters. So there are choices that I made specifically knowing what was to come, which I probably wouldn't have made if I hadn't played Life is Strange 1, if that makes sense. So there are some moments and there are ways when you react to characters where you're like, well, I know where this is going, so I'm going to do X and Y. But there's one bit where you're messed about with Rachel over like a viewfinder, and then later in the episode, it does a moment where it gives you backstory, but the backstory is shown through multiple sides of a viewfinder. And I was like, this is fucking insane. Like, it was such a creative way to tell like a story, and I just loved all of that. And it's also quite sad when you know what events these characters are going to walk down. The first 2 episodes are kind of like, oh, this is just sort of a fun relationship between Rachel and Chloe. But the 3rd episode, I swear, like, I don't know if this is the case for all the Life is Strange games, but the last episode always tends to just increase the emotional levels, the intensity levels, and it then has a moment that plays out which sets up Life is Strange 1. And I was like, that's really, really cool. There's a snapshot at the end where I was like, oh, I know where that is, and I know how bad that is. I'm skating across thin ice because, again, I feel like it's one that if you haven't played, to go back and play it. And I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Yeah.
But generally, I just really, really enjoyed it. I have got a bonus episode to play, so you complete the main story, and there is a bonus episode which I need to do, and then I'm on to playing a game called The Adventures of Captain Spirit. So basically, there's Fred James, who is mad on Life is Strange, said to me, before you play Life is Strange 2, which is next, download this Adventures of Captain Spirit. It takes like an hour and a half. It will make no sense to you, but when you go into Life is Strange 2 later in the game, that will make perfect sense. So I'm going to play that, do the bonus episode, and then I'll be on to Life is Strange 2. So the fact that we're only in the beginning of February, I'm getting through these in nice, like, good timings. And I feel like after I will go to, is it Double Exposure, that the Chloe story
in terms of continuing Max's story.
Sorry, yeah. Because
it's double exposure.
My thought process is I know that True Colors is a different
story.
Yeah,
different story, characters.
And the only reason I say that is I want to be there to be able to play Reunion at the end of March, obviously with Resident Evil coming along the route. I feel like I'll get Life is Strange 2 done in the next couple of weeks. But I will pause for Resident Evil Requiem, obviously. But I have got till the end of March. So, I mean, if I can get all of them done beforehand, great. I'm getting through them nicely. It's just one of those where, like, you know, we're just playing a game where you just, this is me. This is speaking to me in all different senses. I'm interacting with all the characters, like going for the platinum and just having a ball, having an absolute blast. And I've heard that like Life is Strange 2 is kind of where like this wasn't as good as number 1, but that's not to say that there was any bad parts of the game. It's just that it's a shorter episode and it doesn't have the same sort of chemistry that Max and Chloe have. Having said that, though, is that because I've already spent loads of time with Max and Chloe, so Chloe and Rachel, I feel different because of how the game and how I know their stories end up essentially. So that's not me criticizing it. It's just that it's difficult when you go into a prequel when you're used to characters as well. Because like Max isn't in this at all. She speaks about it. And actually, Chloe has a diary and she writes to Max, but obviously Max has gone in this period of time. Because obviously in Life is Strange, they then come back together. It's not really a spoiler. Kind of at the very beginning of the game, that kind of kicks off really. But I was saying slightly off topic. When I was playing Life is Strange 1, when they announced Life is Strange Reunion, I did say to both Andy and our friend James, like, this doesn't make any sense of what bit I'm in. And then when I found out that now it does make a lot more sense, but it was kind of unfortunate timing for me because I was like, well, where I am in the game right now, and now we've got Reunion. How the fuck have we got from X to Y? So yeah, definitely, Welchy. I feel like you're going to love these games. So I'd love for you to play them at some point. That they are really, really like emotionally really hard. And as I said, I got slightly emotional in Life is Strange 1. I didn't cry, but I felt myself going at one point in Before the Storm. There's just one section with Chloe and her dad in a car, and I'm like, oh man, that's really fucking hard to get through, but like incredible, absolutely incredible.
We're at 10.
This is hard. I feel like I was leaning towards like a 9.5, but I don't really know what I'm marking it down for. So that's why I was like more inclined to maybe give it 10, even though like Life is Strange. This is the problem. Like Life is Strange 1 is so amazing. Life is Strange Before the Storm is equally amazing, but I just didn't. The story didn't hit as much, but it did in part. So fuck, I'll go for a 10, so then I don't have to make this decision in my mind generally, because there are parts in Before the Storm that are amazing, but I remember like I was hooked completely from the moment I picked up Life is Strange 1 to the very end, and I still was, but just not as much. But then I don't really know why, and I feel like it's because I've spent more time with Max and Chloe, and I feel like if you played this before, say like you played Before the Storm before Life is Strange 1, you'd be like, this is really cool, but you'd want a bit more. Then you'd get Life is Strange 1 and you'd be like, okay, this is exactly what I want. So I feel like that's an unfair thing to mark it down on, because it's a prequel and it's a different sort of story. But what it does is incredible.
In your last 5 reviews, you've given 4 10 out of 10s.
That is mental.
What was the other 2 that I gave 10 out of 10 for?
Split Fiction and Ghost Yote.
Oh yeah, they're great games though. I have played 4 incredible games.
And Terrify the Arcade.
Clearly.
Yeah, Terrify the Arcade game is
How was that not
yeah. That definitely wasn't a 10.
Cool. Well, that is going to do it for tonight's episode of the Late Night Gamer podcast. Let us know what you think of the God of War cast so far, or if you've played the Exit Project Backstreets or Life is Strange Before the Storm. Let us know any of your comments on any of these subjects. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord using the link in the description to get your messages in before we record our podcast like Jack did today. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next episode. Normally, I'd say speaking of which next time, but we don't have an episode planned next week. Originally, I was going to review Avatar, and I'm not playing that game anymore. I may review Callisto Protocol, we may do some other episode of some topic. I've not decided. But whatever it will be a good episode, I promise you. So stick around for that one. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure and excited to see you in the next episode.
And Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and looking forward to discussing whatever we may discuss next week.
Thank you all for listening, and keep on gaming.